Music fans right here over this counter throughout the past 20 years that we have.
Country music's golden age had its stars, but not all their stories were picture perfect. Behind fame, some old country singers lived with strange physical deformities and disabilities, which the industry tried to hide, leaving many wondering how far the industry was willing to go to maintain its clean image. Join us as we reveal the hidden truth behind these country stars. Number 25, Ernest Tubb. In 1979, a unique album titled The Legend and the Legacy brought Ernest Tubb together with some of the most popular country music artists. The album, released by Cachet Records, in which he had a financial stake, stood out because it included duets with well-known country singers. The fans adored the album, but it became difficult to find soon after its release. Fortunately, in 1999, First Generations Records re-released the album on CD to mark its 20th anniversary. However, it quickly went out of print again. Even when he developed emphysema, a severe lung disease, he continued to perform on stage. Tubb didn't allow his illness to immediately affect his career.
Mine happened to be the late and great Jimmie Rodgers, America's Blue Yodeler.
He continued to perform more than 200 shows each year, carrying an oxygen tank wherever he went. Following every performance, he made sure to meet and greet fans, shake hands, and sign autographs. This routine was kept up until 1982, when his declining health made it impossible to continue. His final appearance on the Grand Ole Opry took place on August 15, 1985, signaling the conclusion of his incredible journey in country music. Number 24, Hank Williams. Hank Williams appeared on the Opry stage looking like a timid, slim boy in an ill-fitting suit. Despite his youth and awkward appearance, there was more to him than met the eye. Hank was born with spina bifida occulta, a condition that caused his back to twist and hurt. His body became deformed at a young age, leading to lifelong pain. To cope with the discomfort, he discovered that alcohol could help numb the pain, if only temporarily. In addition to alcohol, doctors in rural areas prescribed pills to alleviate his suffering. His friends noticed things that others overlooked. They observed him doubling over in pain after each show, but when the curtain went up again, he would straighten up and sing as if nothing was amiss. He never gave up, even when he fell backstage. He would wake up slightly to say, "The show isn't finished," and somehow find the strength to continue. He used to joke about his limp being caused by cheap boots when people asked about it. However, there was a lot of pain behind his laughter and music. He passed away in a car on New Year's Day at the age of 29, leaving behind songs that resonate with the deep pain he never got over. Now, let's meet another star who also had a deformity. Number 23, Ray Price. Ray Price was known for his elegant and controlled demeanor. His voice was silky smooth, and he always maintained a rigid posture. However, behind his graceful appearance was the harsh reality that he suffered from an agonizing condition called ankylosing spondylitis. This type of arthritis caused his spine bones to fuse together, limiting his ability to bend. As a result, he could only move at the hips, requiring specially tailored stage outfits with extra seams for easier dressing and steel plates in the collars to support his head. Unlike the other members of the band, he didn't sleep in a bed but lay on the bus floor, trying to relieve his pain and looking up at the ceiling while the others played cards. Despite doctors warning him that he would eventually need a wheelchair, Ray didn't let it slow him down. He came up with the well-known 4/4 Ray Price beat, a lively rhythm that made dance halls feel electrifying. While performing on stage, his graceful shuffle steps masked his pain, showing silent strength in every note and movement. Number 22, Roy Ackuff. Before becoming a famous country music icon, Roy Ackuff wanted to become a successful baseball player. He had a strong passion for playing on the field, but things didn't go as planned. While playing in a minor league game, he had a severe sunstroke that affected his health. To make matters worse, a surgery intended to repair his injured knee had complications, leaving him with a lifelong limp. Roy refused to quit and decided to pursue a career in music instead of sports. He started playing the fiddle and forged a new direction for himself. On stage, he performed with assurance, synchronizing his movements flawlessly with the music. His seemingly stylish demeanor was a way for him to manage his pain while staying in rhythm. Backstage, he used ice buckets to relieve the pain instead of using a cane. He didn't seek sympathy, just applause. Roy Ackuff didn't just adjust to his circumstances, he amazed everyone. Number 21, Mel Tillis. Mel Tillis had a hard time saying hello because of his stutter caused by malaria in childhood. His words would get twisted when he tried to speak, especially when meeting new people. This made him feel like every greeting was a trap waiting to go wrong. Instead of speaking, he expressed himself through writing songs. However, he never sang his songs. He gave them to other singers who would perform them and receive all the praise, while Mel Tillis remained hidden. One night in the late 1950s, everything was different.
I stutter than I do if I talk good. You talk great.
The melody seemed to mask any trace of stuttering as the crowd stood in awe, then burst into cheers. Music industry leaders recognized his talent early on, but attempted to restrict him by advising him to avoid appearing on talk shows. However, Mel Tillis defied their advice and appeared on late-night TV, using his stutter to his advantage. He utilized the pauses in his speech to create anticipation, then delivered jokes that were even more humorous because of the obstacles he faced. During the 1970s, he became very famous. He was the main act in Las Vegas shows. His stutter, which used to limit him, now made him unique. Next is another old country star who has a similar issue. Number 20, Minnie Pearl. Just over the border in Georgia, a young woman named Sarah Ophelia Cannon, who later became famous as Minnie Pearl, communicated with laughter. Her cheerful presence on stage and friendly humor endeared her to many, but not everyone knew about the private challenges she faced. Without proper treatment, her hearing deteriorated over the years because of ear infections. As a result, words began to sound muffled, especially those that were sharp. The audience enjoyed her antics, thinking it was part of her performance. However, they were unaware that she meticulously prepared by memorizing her lines and cues in advance to ensure a flawless delivery. Her signature hat, complete with a swinging price tag, was not just for show, but also served to conceal the small hearing devices she used to catch the applause at the end of her act. Minnie liked to say she never got any negative feedback. Maybe she didn't. Number 19, Dolly West. In July 1991, Dolly West was driving her Chevrolet Camaro when she lost control and hit a concrete wall. She survived, but was ticketed for reckless driving and not wearing a seatbelt. Unfortunately, a month later, tragedy struck her life. On August 30, 1991, Dolly was heading to a show at the Grand Ole Opry. Her car broke down while she was running late, so she flagged down a passing car for help. While driving towards the Opryland highway exit, George lost control of the car when he took a sharp curve too quickly.
Tears in the liver in different areas that are very difficult to access.
The car went off the road and hit a hill. Despite being seriously hurt, George eventually got better. He was then put on probation and told to go to a program for recovering from alcohol addiction. However, when she arrived at the hospital, medical professionals found internal injuries, a ruptured spleen and a torn liver. She had surgery and was transferred to the intensive care unit. Despite a second operation, the prognosis looked bleak. The doctors were worried that she might not survive. Number 18, Conway Twitty. Conway Twitty had a smooth and unforgettable voice that touched people's hearts. While his fans loved listening to his music, there was a hidden problem going on. The loud music he constantly heard during concerts and recording sessions started to affect his hearing. Despite his hearing slowly deteriorating, he refused to acknowledge it. Instead of confronting the reality, he chose to conceal the issue. When he made mistakes during rehearsals, he blamed it on the band. While in the studio, he constantly requested the sound engineers to increase the volume, raising the levels excessively. A specialist in hearing crafted personalized in-ear aids for him. These aids were made to match his skin tone and discreetly hidden under his dark hair to avoid drawing attention. He used these gadgets to keep his music sounding good during live shows, but he often forgot to adjust them properly. When talking to others, he would sometimes interrupt them, causing some to see him as impolite. Now let's look at someone with a different type of deformity in the old country music world. Number 17, Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash was a commanding figure, always dressed in black like a statue. However, despite his outward appearance, he had a small, shaky side due to a surgery gone wrong that left him with a twitch in his face. Rather than trying to conceal it, Cash's producers used lighting to highlight it during performances, adding to his mysterious persona. Johnny embraced the twitch and incorporated it into his tough outlaw image, turning it into a sneer that suited him perfectly. In order to conceal it, he would bite his cheek to divert his attention. As he sang with a deep, raspy voice with a sense of toughness, his fans could feel the intensity in his music. However, not many knew that this intensity stemmed from genuine pain that accompanied every note he played. Johnny confided in June that his twitch served as a subtle reminder of his existence and was like a faint heartbeat beneath his tough exterior, constantly ticking away, but never hindering his music or his resilience. Number 16, Lefty Frizzell. Lefty Frizzell had a soft and soothing voice, which gave off a feeling of relaxation like being at home. However, this tranquil tone was a result of a slight weakness in the muscles on the right side of his face. This slight droop affected how he pronounced certain vowels, giving his singing a unique and smooth quality. Many people admired his singing style and tried to emulate it. Photographers often tried to conceal the asymmetry in his face with lighting tricks, but Lefty embraced this feature. He strategically adjusted his cowboy hat to create a sense of balance using shadows. His voice had warmth and character that touched people's hearts, which might not have been there if not for a certain quality. As time went on, his voice became even more unique and authentic due to his tired nerves, leading to rumors about his health. Number 15, Boxcar Willie. Boxcar Willie, whose birth name was Leslie Travis Martin, developed a distinctive and memorable persona as a wandering hobo with dirty cheeks and tattered overalls. Many thought his rugged appearance was genuine, however, it was a well-crafted facade. As a child, he had a minor jaw problem that caused a slightly crooked bite, but he was more concerned with conforming to Nashville's flawless image than with his hunger or exhaustion. He used coal dust and dressed like an old-fashioned train traveler to hide a small flaw. The train's sounds in his music masked his quiet voice, and his crooked smile appeared welcoming and wise. When he wasn't on stage, he looked neat, but his team wanted him to maintain the dusty appearance that fans adored. Number 14, Don Gibson. Don Gibson had a calming voice that resonated with people in songs like Oh Lonesome Me. However, he battled social anxiety and depression. He would avoid making eye contact with the audience while on stage, gripping the microphone tightly for support. Performing in public felt like teetering on a tightrope over a dark abyss. The producers tried to help him feel more relaxed by using dim lighting and giving him sunglasses that sparkled under the bright stage lights. His friends were aware of the hard work he put in to prepare for the performance. He practiced his speech in front of mirrors, focused on exiting the stage confidently, and even practiced nodding without his hands shaking. Although he appeared calm and confident, it was a facade to hide his inner battle with fear. Don counted his breaths and silently hoped the next line of the song would come soon to calm his panic. Number 13, Carl Perkins. Carl Perkins faced challenges early in his life. As a child, he contracted polio, a disease that affected his right leg severely. This made it difficult for him to move his leg freely or participate in activities like hopping. While Elvis Presley was known for his energetic dancing and jumping, Carl stayed still while playing music. He compensated for his physical limitations by allowing his hands to glide over the guitar strings, resulting in a distinctive sound that was rich with emotion. The audience's attention was drawn to his upper body, particularly his nimble and effortless fingers. The younger fans were mesmerized and listened intently to every note he played. Carl believed that perhaps God had deprived him of the ability to dance in order to enhance his guitar skills. This belief resonated with him and became integral to his identity. British bands who played his famous songs were able to imitate his guitar riffs, but they could never match the emotional depth and calm self-assurance that Carl displayed by transforming his difficult experiences into something impactful and stylish. Number 12, Tennessee Ernie Ford. Tennessee Ernie Ford was known for his strong and friendly presence. However, by the late 1960s, he suffered from severe foot pain due to bone spurs. As a result, he had to sit down during his gospel performances instead of standing, creating a relaxed and cozy atmosphere similar to chatting by a fireside. The cameras primarily focused on his upper body, capturing his joyful smile while his special shoes concealed the discomfort he was feeling. A kind crew member helped ease his pain between filming, allowing him to stand for the last song. Viewers at home felt like they were part of something special and peaceful in his cozy living room. Despite the pain he suffered, his soothing voice never revealed his discomfort. He kept his struggles private, only showing his grimaces during breaks. Number 11, Louis Marshall. Louis Marshall Jones became well known by portraying Grandpa Jones, a jovial old farmer on television with a big smile, suspenders, and a cheerful laugh. Viewers enjoyed his lively and friendly character, but in reality, Louis was much younger than the character he played. In his middle age, he began experiencing early onset arthritis in his joints, which made everyday tasks difficult and painful. His elbows were in so much pain that he struggled to play the banjo. Instead of strumming the strings with his whole arm, he came up with a special wrist movement that caused less pain. While the audience enjoyed his funny walk on stage, they were unaware that each step was excruciating, like walking on tiny nails. During breaks on the show, Hee-Haw, Lewis would ease his pain by dipping his hands in buckets of ice water before returning to the stage with a cheerful smile. Although viewers saw a lively old man on TV, Lewis was young but internally drained, much like the Grandpa Jones character he portrayed with such detail. Number 10. Buck Owens. Buck Owens was a famous musician known for popularizing the Bakersfield sound, playing his electric guitar in bars. Fans who paid attention to him would have noticed that he had a slight tilt in his shoulders, which was due to his mild scoliosis, causing a gentle curve in his spine. After years of performing in noisy honky-tonks, this small tilt became more pronounced. Stylists designed eye-catching jackets with slanted stripes to make him look stylish. The stripes also helped to balance out his slender figure. Rather than conceal his distinct posture, Buck embraced it. He frequently placed a confident hand on his curved side, showing pride in himself. This relaxed and effortless slouch became a sign of rebellious cool. A lot of people attempted to imitate Buck Owens' posture by standing upright, but no one could replicate the laid-back style that came from his unique curved spine. Now, let's take a look at another star with a rare deformity. Number 9. Charlie Rich. Charlie Rich was nicknamed the Silver Fox because of his smooth style and shiny hair, but his hands showed a different side. His nerves were damaged from heavy drinking over the years, leading to tremors in his fingers even when he wasn't playing. This made playing the piano much more difficult for him. The beautiful music he used to effortlessly create now seemed at risk of falling apart. Instead of giving up, Charlie decided to change his approach to playing music. He started slowing down the songs, allowing the pauses between notes to become more prominent. This made the trembling in his fingers sound like it was blending into the music itself, creating a soft and emotional effect. This hidden challenge brought a new emotional depth to his ballads. What used to be smooth songs now carried a sense of gentle sadness. Listeners could feel the quiet pain in every note, even if they weren't aware of the reasons behind it. Behind the scenes, Charlie faced a difficult battle between his shaky nerves and his determination to keep playing. Number 8. Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline had a powerful and clear voice that could overcome any obstacle. However, a severe car accident in 1961 nearly silenced her. The accident caused serious injuries, including a dislocated hip, a broken wrist, and a scar on her forehead. Despite being on crutches for 6 weeks, she remained determined and resilient. She wore a special corset to support her bones while performing on stage at the Grand Ole Opry. Painkillers reduced the intense pain in her hip, but singing was still a challenge for her. She gripped the microphone stand as if confiding in the audience. Despite the pain, her voice resonated with strength and emotion in every song. The scar on her forehead, previously concealed, now represented her bravery. Number 7. Faron Young. Faron Young was affectionately called the hillbilly heartthrob and was loved by many people. However, he struggled with constant pain, particularly from ulcers, which caused him a great deal of misery. The pain kept him up at night, leading him to seek solace in whiskey for relief. This pattern of behavior only made things worse for him. By December 1996, the pain and emotional turmoil became too overwhelming for him. In a moment of deep sadness, he made the decision to take his life. The full story was not fully disclosed in the news. Newspapers suggested he was struggling to continue. However, his loved ones knew the reality. His ongoing health issues and declining career made him feel confined. His suffering was evident when he performed on stage. At times, he would get upset with his bandmates, but then he would calm down and apologize during the last songs. He described the pain within him as an unbeatable demon. Number 6. Marty Robbins. Marty Robbins encountered difficult health problems but never allowed them to diminish his determination. He endured 3 heart attacks and a major quadruple bypass surgery, yet he decided to continue performing shortly afterward. His chest had been closed with wires by doctors after the surgery, requiring a careful healing process to prevent complications. Despite the potential dangers, Marty was adamant about not canceling his rodeo-themed performances. Marty protected himself by wearing a special padded chest plate under his shiny costume. Only the fans closest to the stage might have noticed a slight strain when he sang high notes. He joked between songs, claiming his heart was stronger than his tour bus. The element of danger on stage made his performances more thrilling. The audience saw Marty not just as a musician, but as a brave man smiling in the face of danger. Number 5. Jimmy Dean. Jimmy Dean was well known for more than just his sausage. He was also famous for his music and charisma. As a country singer, he had a unique background. Due to a nervous condition, his hands would shake uncontrollably, making it difficult for him to play the guitar. To conceal his shaking hands from the audience, TV directors would often position him behind podiums or provide him with objects to hold. Instead of being held back by his nerves, Jimmy came up with a smart solution to keep going. As a result, the music had a soothing and consistent vibe, complemented by uncomplicated guitar playing. Observers assumed this was just his unique musical style, unaware that his anxiety was influencing the tempo. When his popular song, Big Bad John, became a hit and reached the top of the charts, he held the gold record on camera with visibly shaking hands. Jimmy joked about it, comparing it to miners shaking after being in the dark. Number 4. Johnny Horton. Johnny Horton was a charismatic storyteller with an Old West vibe. However, he faced a struggle with Bell's palsy, which left one side of his face frozen and unable to move. Despite this challenge, Johnny cleverly hid this by adjusting his face to catch the light in a way that concealed the difference. While performing on stage, he poured his energy and passion into his singing, distracting the audience from noticing his facial paralysis. Some individuals believed that the calm and composed side of his face made him appear peaceful and steady on television close-ups. This specific aspect of him gave off a unique type of strength. In 1960, his life turned tragic when an intoxicated driver collided with him on a foggy Texas road, cutting his journey short. However, when you observe his past performances, particularly the way his half-smile remains unchanged, you can sense how it narrates a tale of bravery and adventure. Number 3. Tammy Wynette. In the 1970s, Tammy Wynette was a popular star in country music, known for her emotional songs that often topped the charts. She married fellow country singer George Jones in 1969, and they made several successful songs together while touring extensively. However, their marriage had difficulties and they divorced in 1975. Later on, Tammy concentrated on her music career and released new songs that were popular on the country music charts throughout the 1970s. Alongside her career, she had several significant relationships before tying the knot with her final husband, George Ritchie, in 1978. Tammy struggled with her health for years because of issues with her intestines, which landed her in the hospital and led to her reliance on prescription pain medication. Unfortunately, this dependency ultimately led to her death in 1998. Number 2. Paul Stanley. Stanley was born with a condition called microtia, which caused his right ear to misshapen. This made it difficult for him to hear properly from that side, making it challenging for him to locate where sounds were coming from. Loud environments were particularly tough for him because he had trouble understanding conversations. At school, some kids made fun of him because of his ear's appearance, which added to his difficulties. Despite facing obstacles, Stanley had a deep passion for music. In 1960, Stanley's family relocated to Kew Gardens in Queens. He spent a significant amount of time listening to doo-wop music. Upon seeing performances by the Beatles and the Rolling Stones on TV, he felt inspired by their energetic shows. This inspired him to believe that he, too, could pursue a career in music. At the age of 13, he finally got his first proper guitar, an acoustic one, although he wished it was an electric guitar. Number 1. Keith Whitley. Whitley was born in Ashland, Kentucky, to Fay Ferguson, a newspaper editor, and Elmer Whitley, an electrician. Their family had been in the Elliott County area for many generations, tracing back to the 1840s, and their heritage was a blend of English and Scots-Irish backgrounds. During his teenage years in Sandy Hook, Whitley led a reckless lifestyle, frequently racing cars on dangerous mountain roads and drinking bootleg bourbon with his friends. These risky escapades were filled with peril. One harrowing evening, Whitley found himself in a car speeding at 120 miles per hour around a sharp bend. Luckily, he only suffered a broken collarbone and managed to survive. His family experienced another tragedy when his older brother Randy passed away in a motorcycle crash in October 1983. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.